Meat City, baby.
Hello and welcome back to Meat City Gaming. JD here with another episode of Battle Bites here in World of Tanks. And for today's battle, we are once again on Cliff. Boy, it seems to be a lot of my good battles are taking place on this map, and it is a standard battle. And today, we are in the Cheeto. This is Chinese Tier 6 medium tank, and I really don't like it. Now, to be fair, I do not have any equipment on this tank. You can see I don't have camo on it, so maybe I'm not giving it a fair chance. But it's a Tier 6 tank. I don't know how many of you out there are fully decking out your Tier 6 tanks, but I know I certainly can't afford to with the way that I play this game. So, with that said, what does this tank do? Well, you can see as we were crawling up the hill there, despite its top speed of 45, which is decent, I guess, for a Tier 6, the power to weight ratio is pretty low. It's about 12.2, and so this thing struggles to go over terrain and to go up hills and all that. So you're rarely reaching that 45 miles per hour. Even here on the flat, you can see we're topping out at 39.40. We're not reaching that top speed. So its mobility is meh. In terms of the gun, well, the top gun, which I have on this tank, is a 7.5 centimeter, and it does 130 damage. So it's really low damage per shot. It has 155 millimeters of penetration, which I guess is okay for Tier 6, but the accuracy is bad. I think it's 0.38. It might be 0.36, but I think it's 0.38. And as you can see, let's play a fun little game and count the missed shots throughout this battle, because there are a ton of them. And yes, some of these shots are from pretty long range, but you can see, even when I'm sitting still fully aimed, the reticle is still really, really big. And look, here we are, there's a rover sitting up there on the hill, and what was that shot? That must have been on the outer arc of the circle, and then a follow-up chance to take him out again, and it whiffs to the other side, to the left of the tank this time. So tons of missed opportunities there for damage, and twice we could have secured a kill, but no dice. However, the team did clean that kill up for us, and so the hill is secured and safe, and so we can now poke down into the valley here, which I love to do from this position, and we see an OI, a big old Chinese heavy tank, and yes, even I can't miss that big of a target here. We put one shot in, and I tried to track him. It didn't work. I guess I didn't do enough damage. However, the second shot was enough to finish him off, but you can see for those two kills, we're 2.5 minutes into the battle, and we have 149 damage. Not very impressive for the, 8, 9, 10 shots that we fired so far. Okay, but at least we've done well as a team. Secured the hill. Looks like we're securing the valley. Now we're aiming in here at a Tiger P, and this one bounces. So yes, even when it hits, sometimes the gun's not going to be reliable because the penetration isn't high enough. And I think even for that, the Chinese heavy tank, I bounced my first shot, which was aimed poorly, but I switched to the premium rounds for the second two because you just can't depend on the gun to go through any kind of significant armored target. Okay, so the Tiger P backs off. We don't have an opportunity to pursue him. I don't think it's a good idea right now. So we'll continue around the corner, and yes, this is the highlight of this position on this map. We can shoot up into the tanks that are in the middle there, and we have a Caro P88. I think we put 2 good shots into the side of that tank. Those flew true. They went where we aimed them, so that's great. We back off as he starts shooting at us because he does hit us, and he hits a lot harder than we do for sure. And then a T-23E3 sprinting across the map. And again, that was nice. I gave it some nice lead there. I feel like the speed, the shell velocity on these rounds is also really, really low. You really have to give them some lead to hit a moving target. But we put a nice shot there into the rear tire, or the rear track of that American medium tank, I believe that was, crossing in front of us. Again, not enough to track him, but we did do some damage. So for a second there, I entertained a thought of going down into the valley. We got hit by the Arty, I feel like everything knows we're here, but then I see there's also a TV down there. It doesn't feel like the right thing to do. So we hang and we stay, and then there it is. There's the T-23E3. It is a medium tank, and we have the rear of that tank. And yes, in this situation, the tank is really good. If you're firing on reload, close range, yes, you can pump out some pretty good damage with this tank. We take out the T-23E3 for our second kill, and then right after that, we get the Caro with our third kill. So that's not too bad. And then a Churchill 1 pops up from long range. We put in 1, take a blind shot. That one doesn't hit. And so now, respectable. We're up to 1,314 damage. The one thing this tank does do well, it has 10 degrees, of gun depression. Now, you don't have any armor to use that. Your turret isn't well armored, so even if you're poking a ridge line, if something shoots back at you, it's still going to go through. But 10 degrees of gun depression is pretty good. We're able to get the gun down there, put another shot in on the target. So yes, I guess if you can get this thing on a ridge line and get the gun firing on reload, maybe that's how you get this thing to work. But that's not a situation I find myself in a whole lot, especially at tier 6, and especially with a tank that's very slow to go up slopes. So we've done a little bit of damage here, and we back off after we got shot, I think from up on the hill. The Churchill 1 pops back up on the radar, and so again, we're going to throw some shots in here. And I feel like, okay, the gunner just needed to warm up a little bit. Yep, now his aim is pretty true. He's hit his last 5 or 6 shots maybe. So we're starting to build up some respectable damage numbers. And I wanted to push and extend and get vision on that Churchill, or on the other hand, come up and use this rock and then look down to the right. But we got spotted as we moved into position, and take a look at the hill. There's a light tank on the hill, but I see we have a light tank up there too. They're firing at each other. We've got 2 more light tanks just below the hill there. So I feel like those 3 light tanks can take on the enemy, and we should be okay. We're not currently spotted, although, you know, we could be. That tank is kind of in a bit of an awkward spot, but I don't think he's going to be worrying about me right now. So we'll continue to push the attack. There's the Churchill 1 again. Can I get around this rock? We can. Aim, I'm looking for that middle front plate. I think I can go through that without premium rounds. There's one. Oh, we leave him on 7 health, and he puts in 1, 2. I don't know what kind of gun that thing has, but boy, it does tiny little chips of damage. However, the second shot also applies true, and boom, there we go, 4 kills, and then, oh no, we are getting shot from the top of the hill. T71DA up on the hill. How is he still there? I don't know, but he's able to put 2 shots into us in a wide open field and take us out. So that is an unfortunate end to the game there. We had just turned the corner. We had some cleanup to get. We were kind of rolling on the damage, and then unfortunately I forgot to secure that hill. I trusted my allies to take care of it, and they weren't quite able to do it. But the game looks like it's well in hand. We're 7-2 here, and now we can see one of the light tanks here that was pushing this hill is this T50. But as I switch to their view to kind of finish out the battle here, I cannot figure out what they're doing. Why did he back off? He had all that opportunity to push on that tank. It crossed right in front of him. He could have put one in, but instead he backed up. And so now he's backed all the way down the hill. And okay, he's got an ally here, so he was setting up an ambush, I guess. And the is that an EBR? Puts in a shot, does no damage. But now there's 2 of them, 2-on-1. Push on this guy, attack him. What is he doing? I can't figure it out. He's the last tank left on the enemy team, and they're both just kind of sitting and waiting. And yes, okay, so the EBR is a 1-shot. You have to be a little careful there. I get it. But I think the T50 has a ton of health, and so, okay, great. He's going to make his move while our allies are starting to capture the base, and I had to switch to it. I got it in midair. What was he doing? He just threw himself off the cliff, and the enemy T71 actually went and followed him and looked over the hill, but the EBR's not doing anything about it. He could have pushed the advantage there. He was looking the other way, and okay, there we go. We get 1 shot in, just 1 left to take out the guy. 6 seconds, 5, our enemies are capturing, our allies are capturing. Do you want to get the kill? Go ahead, go get him. He's there. Take your chance. No, I guess not. And then a shot from the Arty at the very end. I don't know if that would have been enough. I think it landed after the battle had concluded, so it didn't get any damage in. But man, was that a weird game. So the plus side, that's an MVP performance in the Cheeto, and I certainly did not have a lot of those. So we'll take it. And I can tell you, I finished the grind with this tank, and I don't see myself ever coming back to play it again. And I think this was probably my best game ever in the tank. So you're getting that game. And look, they're not all going to be amazing, crazy battles, but this was a good one. And it showed, I think, the tank, its strengths, which are very few, and its weaknesses, which in my view are pretty many, so that you can see for yourself and prepare yourself for what this tank is like if you end up trying to grind through this line for the Japanese tanks. So again, finishing with an MVP performance, top of the team, great, we'll take it. We were running a premium account at the time. I think we got a reward from the season pass. So 55,000 credits still would have been a nice, tidy profit, almost 40K for that game if we were running a non-premium account. Tons of experience here, but that's 7,252. There's definitely some bonuses going on in that. We'll see what the base XP is in the final performance screen. But, we know we had a good game there. 3 kills. I thought I had gotten a 4th kill. One of those kills that I thought I secured must have been snagged by somebody else. It must have been the Churchill one, because I know we had the OI and the Caro and the T23E3. I'm almost sure we did. So it must have just been that 4th one. Again, this battle took place before the ribbons came back in, so we weren't getting those destroyed ribbons popping up, but you get the text on the side. So I must have missed one of those where I thought I had secured the kill. Somebody else actually got it. So 3 kills, 1,805 damage for 19 hits, right? I don't know how many shots we took. Well, I'll put up a little tally here if I go back and count them all on how many actual shots we took or how many shots we missed or that didn't penetrate. But 19 hits to do less than 2,000 damage. And we probably fired, I'm gonna guess right now without knowing the answer, and then I'll go back and put this in, but I think we fired 40 shots in that battle. I think we missed or didn't penetrate half our shots. 820 assistance damage. We did, I think, spot a couple of guys thanks to our pretty good position there. We poked the ridge, looking down into the enemy base a couple of times. Blocked 100 damage. That is rare, but it might have been that Churchill one. I think it has a really low penetration gun. So maybe 2 of those shots bounced for 50 damage each. Maybe that's what happened there. But you're really not going to expect to block a whole lot of damage with the armor on this tank. So in terms of the medals that we secured for this battle, it's a collection of standard medals. A duelist, a bruiser, a fire for effect. Nothing really exciting at all. However, we did secure a first class mastery badge, and that was for 1,381 base XP. So, the ceiling does seem to be a bit lower for this tank compared to some other ones. Where putting up higher XP totals is still going to be only a 2nd class. So, if you want to chase an ace tanker, maybe this is a tank to do it in. Put that equipment on, load that premium ammo, work those ridge lines, and then maybe you can turn this tank into an ace tanker for your collection, because I don't think too many people are out there trying. I certainly didn't enjoy the effort getting through this tank, and I was happy to be done with it when I unlocked the final tank in this tier. So that's going to wrap up the battle. Hopefully you enjoyed this one, even though it wasn't the flashiest or the best. Again, some of these Battle Bites videos are just, here's what the tank is, here's a really good fun game in it, performed well, and then you'll know what the tank's like when you get to it yourself. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.